So if you aren't aware, there's a lot of AI generated slop games that are just all over the PlayStation Store. Look at this one even. This one right here. Anime Village Online. Now, I can't tell you possibly what this game is at all. There's no fucking way that this game isn't what you think it is. But in case you happen to have never seen this game, it is Animal Crossing. This fucking thing is a clone of Animal Crossing, and it's very blatant. You can see it basically all over this image right here, and it's going to be released in 2027. Yeah, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Of course, there's also a lot more games to get into, so why don't I go over those too? How about this one? Anime Christmas Uni. I recently thought that there couldn't possibly be... I'm going to stop myself there and just say, no, this isn't a game. It does sure as hell look like one, but it isn't. What this game really is a very short puzzle game, obviously developed with AI and very sloppily put together. It's so basic, it looks like a game designed for mobile devices with how actually low quality it is. Also, while I'm at it, I should correct something else too. Yeah, there's adult games on PlayStation, obviously. And for some reason on PC, I'm not even signed in, but they're there. And a lot of it is AI generated garbage too. Moving on. And look down here, it has additions. You want the one with Christmas avatars? And do you want the one with extra Christmas avatars? Why are those DLCs? Why are there 4 different editions of this damn thing and 2 of them are the exact same as the other one? But if you thought that was crazy, the Christmas Pickle will have you shake in your boots and shiver your timbers. What even is this fucking thing? It looks like some Monsters Inc. thing. It's the most AI generated blatant shit you could possibly think of. So this is actually a horror game. Now, I'm honestly uncertain if this game is really developed with AI, but I know for certain that the banner image used on the store page was created with AI, so it's easy to tell on that. And this is actually what the Christmas Pickle looks like. I know, absolutely shocking, isn't it? So what I will say is, if this game isn't AI generated, it once again is an incredibly low quality game, but you know, at least for what it is, I actually like horror games, so if it really only is the banner art, then I'd give this one a pass. But as I said, I'm quite uncertain with this one. Moving on. Then there's another one called Italian Brainrot. Seriously, they made Italian Brainrot into a fucking game on PlayStation. Oh, and look, right now it's half off, 24 cents. Okay, hold up just a second. Check this out right here. This is the gameplay. I shit you fucking not. You just play Pictionary and find the other specific Brainrot character chosen at the bottom. This isn't a fucking game. It's a waste of your fucking time. It's dog shit, just like all the other Brainrot related titles that are on the PlayStation Store by the same fucking developer. They're all the exact same shit, and I am not fucking kidding. There is literally nothing special about any of these. They are that fucking creatively bankrupt. Moving on. But you want to know what's even crazier? It has additions. There's the Italian Brainrot avatar bundle that comes with the game, because of course you'd want fucking avatars. And then there's this one called Duck Battle Royale, which if you couldn't tell, it's literally just a fucking clone of... So originally I said this was a clone of Escape from Duck-Off, which it obviously isn't, and even went through the trouble of researching why the game was on decline, and then after doing all that I learned it didn't matter, because while it looks similar to Escape from Duck-Off, it clearly isn't a clone of that. It's a typical Battle Royale clone. And to clarify, it literally is once again one of the lowest quality games I've ever seen. It looks like another game designed for mobile phones. What's even worse is that it's so bad you can't even really call it a clone of PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, because that'd be giving this fucking garbage too much praise. Moving on. So, about Duck-Off. It seems like right now is not exactly the best time to buy this game, considering not only is it made by Chinese developers, people from China are negatively reviewing the game because the official developers seem to have just condones a modder who inserted malicious code into their mods, and instead of taking any real actions to go against it by getting mods out of the game or making it where only certain mods exist with a certain type of anti-cheat, they did none of that basically. Only under pressure from them did they later take down the mod that caused all the malicious problems. So I would not recommend buying this game right now given the fact that this is the case. Anyway, Duck Battle Royale, 2.6 out of 5 stars. And there are 2 editions, one for the PS4, one for the PS5. Now honestly, I don't know that this is actually an AI generated game. It just looks so particular with its style that I had to think it has to be some bare minimum run-of-the-mill title that is literally nothing. So obviously there's a bit more than what I originally said here. Trigger Path is a decent quality, albeit really extremely casual puzzle game. This game is not hard at all, and it literally takes no time to complete basically, so don't expect a long amount of gameplay. I mean, why would you? It's $5. Still, it is a very boring game, as you can probably see here. However, is it AI generated? I would say no, though I'm not entirely certain. Unfortunate that this game wasn't the Dark Souls of puzzle games with that knight on the banner picture. I would have probably actually recommended that. Moving on. But it's rated pretty well for the 13 ratings that it has. And then there's this one of a similar style. In my opinion, the art style looks very similar. Bunninjutsu, 16 ratings, 4.56. And it just looks like another run-of-the-mill game like this one, Trigger Path. And so Bunninjutsu is created by the same devs as the Cute Whale game, and surprisingly, it isn't the exact same game for a third time. What a shocker. This one is a typical platformer, and it actually seems pretty original from what I can tell. That said, it's still underwhelming, but I mean, for, again, $5, this is actually kind of expected. Great that this one is actually more original, that said. Now, is this game AI generated? Once again, I doubt that it is, given that it actually has its own textures and such. It might be using some mechanics from some other games, but those are basically free reign as long as it's an original expression, which this definitely is, as I can tell. So yeah, I would say no, it isn't. Moving on. Then there's this one, Cute Whale, which just looks like the exact same art style again, so it looks like another thing. So if you thought this game wasn't anything like Trigger Path, despite being by different developers, you were so fucking wrong. This legitimately is the exact same game basically, but instead, you're a cute whale. Yes, that clearly makes all the difference. It's so different, in fact, that they have the exact same way of completing the puzzles too, because they're just so original. So enough sarcasm. This one does seem, from what I saw, to have a bit better puzzles than Trigger Path, but they are legitimately the exact same game, different skin type shit. Is it AI generated? I doubt it, but for $5, it's once again the same crap, and now that I've seen it, the only thing that keeps me from thinking it's a mobile game is the pixel graphics, since it's quite a rarity among those titles these days from what I know. Moving on. And so these are obviously not the only examples that exist on the PlayStation Store about what is an AI generated game, but it is essentially the ones that I've come across. There's even more anime uni games. I struggle to think why there are so many of these, but there are more of them. Let's go into the next thing though, because I wanted to check what other stores also had AI generated games, and I'm pleased to say that ultimately speaking, the only game I really found on Xbox that seemed like it was even AI generated a little is Amazing Princess Sarah. And the reason why is because this game is also on Steam, so I could actually see the pictures because fucking Xbox doesn't let you for some reason. The one thing that's actually AI generated in this game is the banner picture. It's the art that's AI generated. The rest of the stuff, it actually does look like it's actually real, so it's not all that bad. The main issue I have is that it just looks like your run-of-the-mill game. Now, being honest, this game is probably the most original concept I've covered here, despite being a game I mean, it really isn't hard to see. But regardless, original premise, and it's higher quality than a lot of the other titles I've covered here as well. Perhaps AI upscaling, but I doubt that, considering it doesn't look bad at all really, and AI upscaling tends to have bits and pieces you can see errors in. Maybe there's some, but I can't tell personally with this one. Obviously, it's a platformer with your baddies and such. A little more unique gimmick in this one is that you can throw things to damage enemies. I know that that's in a lot of other games. I just meant that it was more original than a lot of the other stuff I've covered here. But there are some issues, which I'll move on to now. The other thing that I should mention is that the reviews are mixed, and people say that the controls are just absolute dog shit. As an example, the controls are sluggish and make jumping from one platform to another a chore, even though he spelled chore wrong. This says choir. But anywho, that's about it for Xbox games. I didn't really find that many examples on Xbox, surprisingly. And then as for Steam games, now I do want to mention real quick that all of these games on Steam are not there anymore as far as I can tell. I checked before actually making this video, but turns out they're not there. There was an influx of them not too long ago at the beginning of this year. This one's called Pandemic Ground Zero. It's just your typical racing game, and it just looks like a clone of another racing title, obviously. Then there's these ones, The Deep Creep, The Forest Keeper, Dungeon Ascent, Spellweaver, Crown of Chaos, The Thread of Fate, Arctic Isolation, Asylum Patient Zero. These are probably all made by the exact same person. I would not be surprised. They all have the samey fucking banners. I don't know why they felt to include two images of the exact same games, but right. The one game that I didn't talk about was this one called Liar's Pub. This is literally just an AI-generated copy of Liar's Bar. I don't know if you've ever seen that game, but it's essentially one of the more popular streaming titles and games between friends, but it is literally just Liar's Bar. That is what this game is. And Liar's Bar is obviously just getting completely ripped off by it. That's really fucking horrible. So if you're able to, like, report this game on PlayStation for copying another game. And that's basically all I had to say today. You know, it's just, there's a lot of AI generated games on PlayStation specifically. A lot of games that are just AI generated on there. The only thing it really does is make me question why they're even there. The majority of them are just literal brain rot. I mentioned that there's Italian brain rot. There's more than just Italian brain rot. There's a bunch of other brain rot titles that are just available to play on PlayStation, which probably don't even give you an actual game. They're games on PlayStation because PlayStation just accepts putting them on their fucking platform. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.